Hi, everyone. Welcome to Childcare Unplugged, hosted by me, Chantel Pettingill. I created this podcast to help parents with any questions they may have about parenting, daycare, or anything about child development. We also answer questions that parents typically have about childcare and our program specifically. So, welcome to 2024. We are so excited for this new year. And joining to me today is Zach. Zach is my co-owner, as well as my husband, who works full-time for the daycare, helping with the operations and HR. So today we want to take a moment and reflect on 2023 and the positives we had as an organization, as well as share some of our plans for 2024. Welcome, Zach.
Hi, everybody.
First, I want to start off by thanking all our families, our teachers, our admin staff, our community members for a great 2023 and all their support in the last year. We really appreciate the feedback you give us to help us grow and be successful. We are also super grateful for the opportunity that families give us for trusting and caring for their littles. This truly is a passion for us. I've been reading the book called The One Thing by Gary Keller, and in one of the chapters, he had us rethink about our why. I've worked in childcare in one form or another since I was a teenager. My first job was working for a summer in a 3-year-old classroom, and I fell in love with it and knew this is what I wanted to do forever. My life's mission is to help others. And this is why we opened Pettingill Academy. We opened it to help other families by offering quality childcare with an education focus. But we also opened it to help others find their passion working with children, just like we have, and make it a career. But I'm doing a lot of the talking now. So let's pass it off to Zach for a moment. So last year, our word of the year was bloom. What are some ways PA bloomed in 2023?
So the last year was pretty exciting for us as a company. We opened our second location in Brunswick on the landing at the old base. With this expansion, our capacity now is 284 students that we're able to care for between both schools. And then once we're fully staffed at both locations, we'll have around 80 people that we employ at both. We've also never formally announced this as well, but I'm super excited to announce that Chantel has joined the Childcare Success Academy as a childcare coach. So with this, she'll be helping other childcare providers through coaching and coaching them with how to operate their businesses and be successful in the industry as well.
I'm really excited to be doing that part-time. Like I previously said, my why is about helping people. And by being a coach, it's really allowing me to dig deeper into my why, because not only am I helping other childcare providers, which I love doing, I'm also helping, again, the industry as a whole, because I'm by helping these providers, I'm helping by keeping their doors open, by helping them offer quality childcare to a lot more children that I could never do on my own. The company, the CCSA, last year hit their mission of impacting 1 million children and actually hit 1.4 million families have been impacted by the academy. So being a part of that organization really hits my purpose and my why. So thank you for that. And then it also helps me become a better business owner and leader to our people as well, because it helps me keep the focus on what we need to do to continue to grow and bloom as well. What are some other things PA did to bloom in 2023?
So let's see. One thing we started doing was bringing back our family events. During COVID, this was something that we took a break from. Again, it kind of took a back seat during all of that. So it was actually really nice to start bringing those back for our for all our families to be able to participate in that. We can't wait to be able to add some more events that we're working on for 2024 as well. With this, as part of our strategic planning that we're currently working on, in which we'd love to have everybody's feedback on that for what types of events that you would like or what type of events you'd like to see happen in 2024. It'd be great to get that feedback from everybody as well. So Chantel, what have you been doing with some work around the curriculum and parent connection this past year? What did that entail?
Yeah, so we use Learning Beyond Paper, and we started using that in 2022. But one of the things we found that even though it's so great, wonderful, it integrates with ProCare, we found that it was a little difficult sometimes to be able to go in and get the whole lesson plans for the teacher. So I started building out a website that links to our Google Drive. So it's a lot easier for the teachers to go in, click the PDF, see what the lesson plans are, help them with their planning and implementation of it. And so far, this has improved the teacher usage of the curriculum as well as their excitement. I've been seeing them do a lot more supplemental stuff with the fun activities that go along with the curriculum, which is great to see, because I want to empower them to plan art projects and dance parties and things like that on their own, along with using the curriculum, and also meeting the kids where they are. So if they're working on letter writing and things like that, Learning Beyond Paper doesn't have a handwriting piece, but our preschool curriculum has really started implementing that because that's where our students are at the moment. So we definitely have seen a lot of improvement in since rolling this out in November, as well as our parent communication plan. That was just to help set expectations and a standard to like what needs to be posted on ProCare, how often, things like that, just to give them guidance, because sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So by giving the teachers the standard, they're able to now meet the standard. And we've seen a lot of improvement with that as well. And we also been doing a lot with like training, and then we also do like posting competitions with the teacher, like whoever posts the most pictures during this time period, or whoever is meeting the standard so many days in the row, we give them, like, we buy the classroom coffee. We do little things, but our group of teachers is, they're competitive. They want to beat each other like in these competitions. And we're also finding the competitive between the two centers. Brunswick wants to do better than Lewiston, and Lewiston wants to do better than Brunswick. So it's been great to see that. And it's helping to keep them engaged with the parent communication. And speaking about training, Zach, what are some things that we've begun doing and will continue to work on doing with our staff orientations and training?
All right, so this is kind of a lot of the stuff that I work on. In 2023, we started building out orientation roadmaps and our training website. Sorry, nose is stuffed up today. Started working on the training websites for orientation, and then as well as the continuous training that we do with the staff, which is always an ongoing project as we're updating stuff, trying to find the best layouts for everybody. And then we try to pay attention a lot to the trends of how people do learn right now. Everything's kind of short videos as opposed to those longer 30-minute, hour-long videos, that we all used to have to watch back on those early days with starting a new job. So we're trying to find the best fits for that. Currently, our new teachers complete about 20 hours of video training during their first week, and then as well as some in-the-class training. Right now, we're also starting to see less staff turnover with this kind of shift in our training model. So that's been fantastic. And then we're finding that the people that aren't a culture fit for us, they do leave a little bit earlier in the process than hanging around longer, which is a good thing. We do want people to be happy where they're at, wherever that may be. So in 2024, we're currently in the process of finalizing an orientation booklet for all of our new hires to go through, and then we'll walk the existing staff through it as well, just make sure everybody's on the same page. But they'll use it to go along with our training website, and then the goal with this is they're in their 10-day orientation period with us. They're going to have over completed 100 hours of training during that time. It's a huge process. Takes a lot of work, but there's going to be so much payoff in the end for that, which will be pretty easy to see, which we're excited about. Our reason for this, is helping people. We want our associates to succeed in the centers, but also with their goals as well, because part of this training and coaching, our school directors do regular one-on-ones with the teachers to check in, help give feedback on how they can improve and grow with themselves as well. So with this, they give the chance to give feedback to us as well. Another thing that we always have done, but we've started encouraging more usage of, is our Mad Sad Glad form. And this is a site that's pretty cool. It's where staff can reach out and actually comes directly to me And it can be anonymous if they need it to be, which is always good for feedback. And we also have one for parents as well now too. And correct me if I'm wrong, Chantel, but these should be either right in the front lobby or right at the front desk in Lewiston and Brunswick.
Yep, yep, they are
Yeah.
both posted there. Yep.
Um, Let me see. So yeah, so parents can share that as well if they need something to or need us to be aware of something. Um, and then with creating partnerships, this is something huge that Chantel and I are part of, building that community both with staff and as families as well. So can you, Chantel, explain some of the stuff that you've done with the state government that helps with creating, some of these partnerships and communities?
Yeah. So advocacy is a big part of my why. And then 2023, I put in a bill with Margaret Craven to do some things with childcare. Senator Jackson also put in a bill at the same time. So we had two bills that kind of mirrored each other. Senator Bill Jackson's bill had a little bit more meat to it. So in agreement, I spoke with Margaret and we combined our bill with Senator Jackson's. And it was a big year for childcare and at the state level. Myself, along with many other state providers and organizations and stakeholders, passed a big law with our legislators that help both families and providers. So that's huge because we got to work together as that partnership. So one of the big things for family is we were able to increase the family income level to the 125th percentile of the poverty line, which will open up more access to more families, open up that, I guess what they call the missing middle. More of those people will be able to qualify for childcare help and childcare subsidies. So that's a huge win for our families. Some of the other things that we got in that bill as well is our staff members will now be allowed to be on childcare subsidy, no regarding what their income is. A lot of it is we're trying with the recruitment and staffing, but also it's hard to pay for childcare, as you guys know, for families. And we want to reward our staff members for doing it. So that's a huge win for us as well. And then it will also doubled, well, the money doubled, but it increased our stipends, pay stipends, supplement to our staff members. So that way we can increase their pay even more without having to pass the burden to the family so much. So we did, have a tuition increase, but we rolled because of this pay supplement, we were able to decrease the amount of burden on the families for it. So we're really excited for that. There's a lot more things in the law, like looking at the cost of care model and some of how like the subsidy program operates. Those are like smaller things that were in the bill, but we want to celebrate the big things for our families, and that was huge for us to it. And we're looking forward to continuing to build that community, pass more laws, and do build it. There's a lot. The end of 2023 was hard for many of us, but we came together as a community, and we want to thank you for that. But now we got to look towards 2024. Each week we're having meetings with our staff to work on our 2024 strategic plan. And we have some things we're already working on. Zach, can you explain a couple of the things that we're working on that we know we're going to be implementing in 2024?
Yeah, and actually just to kind of go back to what you were saying there about the state, Maine's actually in a unique spot that it's actually doing a lot of things in a proactive and productive way to help address childcare accessibility issues for families. So Maine's actually making it a priority to make sure that families can access childcares because that's not happening in other states. So we're actually pretty lucky that the state is willing to come to the table and talk and have productive and real conversations and get to the root of some of these issues that that are affecting everybody. But to get back to what you were talking about, so in 2024, we're going to be looking to add some parent webinars, go over some of those parenting topics that everybody comes up with and ask the teachers for assistance or what they've seen work. to go along with the podcast that we're doing here. Um, we're also going to be doing a center art show, which is pretty cool. And then bringing back parent conferences as well. So once we finish up and finalize our strategic plan, we'd love to come back and then do another podcast to explain it and go over that with everybody. And then do we want to give a little sneak peek and finish up with telling them the word of the year, Chantal?
I can, and I apologize for my alarms going off. Of course, the one time that my computer's active is during this time. But yeah, so last year we chose bloom as our focus word for our strategic plan, and like just it helps give us that little bit of focus of everything we're doing. So this year we chose the word sparkle. And again, we can't wait to share more with what that means as we finalize our strategic plan for that. I know this pod has gone a little bit longer than most of my other pods, but Zach, do you have anything to say to finish up with this one?
No, I'm pretty excited, and I'm looking forward to a sparkly 2024.
All right, awesome. So that's all we have for today. We hope you have an amazing weekend, and we'll be back in a couple weeks with our next episode. I know in my first episode, I originally said like the first and third Fridays of the month. Things adapt and change and life happens. So our biggest thing is we're going to shoot for 2 episodes. We'll still launch them on Fridays because I like the Friday launch date. I just will continue to post them both in the parent communication app and on Facebook. All right, guys, everyone have a great weekend.
Thanks, everybody.